Okay, good morning students. Good morning students. Today we continue with the remaining problems, and today the problems based on half-life period and reactivity and nuclear fission. Okay, so actually we know the radioactive disintegration law is n by n0 equal to e power minus lambda t, that is, and that we know. If this t is equal to half-life period, then n by n0 is equal to 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is equal to e to the power lambda into t half. So let us consider the half-life period as capital T. So this is we know. Okay. Now for any reaction n equal to n0 is equal to e power minus lambda t. Now this can be written as e power minus lambda capital T into t by t. We can write like this. Okay. So we are adding this t. Okay, and that is equal to, we can write, suppose if it is x to the power m to the power n, means it is x to the power mn, as we know. So here also we can take it as e power minus lambda t whole power t by t. Okay, that means actually e power minus 1 by lambda t is equal to half. That means 1 by 2 whole power t by capital T. So n by n0 fraction is equal to half into t to the power t by half-life period capital T. So using this relation we can easily calculate the problems. Okay, you remember this one, and another one is lambda is equal to, actually half-life period is 0.693 divided by lambda. From this relation also, you remember this relation also. Okay, next another one, the reactivity. So the activity of a material is given by modulus of lambda n, that is modulus of lambda n0 e power minus lambda t. So that is, if we take the activity is lambda n, this lambda n0 is the activity as the initial activity. So activity also can be written as A is equal to A0 e power minus lambda t. Okay. So in this case also we can apply the same relation as this one. So half-life period, everything we can relate in this equation also. Now the ninth one, actually eighth in the last class, the half-life of radium is 1600 years. How much time does it does 1 gram of radium take to reduce to 0.125 gram Okay, the half-life period capital T is given as 1600 years. Initially it is 1 gram, after certain time it reduces to 0.125 gram. Okay, that means N0 is 1 gram, N is 0.125 gram. So you have to calculate the time period T, so that 1 gram of radium reduces to decays to 0.125 gram. So our relation is N by N0 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power T by T, capital T, small t by star. So here we have to calculate this small t. So N by N0 means 0.125 divided by 1 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power T by half-life is given as 1600 years. So 0.125 means it is 1 by 8 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power T by 1600. So 1 by 2 can be written as this is 1 by 2 whole power 1 by 3 equal to 1 by 2 to the power T by T. Sorry, T by 1600. So comparing this, T equal to T by 1600. So small t is 4800 years. That means that radium will take 4800 years to decay from 1 gram to 0.125 gram. Okay, next one. Tenth one. The half-life of CO58 is 72 days. How much time does it take? How much time does it take for 3/4 of initial mass to disintegrate initial mass to disintegrate. Okay. The half-life of this particular radioactive element is 72 days. How much time does it take for 3/4 of its initial mass to disintegrate? That means 3/4 of mass is disintegrated means remaining mass is 1/4. Suppose initial mass we take it as just initial mass is 1 unit. Then mass disintegrated is equal to 3/4 of initial mass. So mass remaining is equal to 1 minus 3 by 4, that is 1 by 4. So this is the initial mass N0 we can take, and this is the remaining mass N. So we have the relation, and the half-life period capital T is given as 72 days. Therefore N by N0 is equal to, we have the relation 1 by 2 small t by capital T. So we have to calculate small t. So 1 by 4 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power T by T. So 1 by 2 can be written as 1 by 2 whole power 2 is equal to 1 by 2 to the power T by T. So comparing these two, small t is equal to 2 into T, that is 2 into 72 days, that is 144 days. Now the 11th one, 1 gram of radium, 1 gram of radium is reduced by 2 milligram in 5 years by alpha decay. Calculate the half-life of radium. Okay, here the problem is 1 gram of radium is reduced by 2 milligram in 5 years by alpha decay. Calculate the half-life of radium. That means given that in 5 years 2 milligram of radium is disintegrated. So now we write it as initial mass is equal to 1 gram. That is, we can as it is in milligram, now we write this also in milligram, that is 1000 milligram. Okay. Now mass disintegrated is equal to 2 milligram. So mass remaining is 1000 milligram minus 2 milligram, that is 998 milligram. Okay. Now in this problem, that means this is initial mass, means this is N0, remaining mass means N. So we can take it as this as N0 and this as N, and time period is given as 5 years. T is given as 5 years. So now we have this relation, N by N0 is equal to e power minus lambda t. Here we can't directly apply because it is 998 in 1000. Okay, this implies 998 by 1000 is equal to e power minus lambda, that is lambda can be written as 0.693 by half-life capital T into small t. Now if we reverse this, that means 1000 by 998 is equal to e power 0.693 t by capital T. Okay, now we are writing in logarithm, you can write like this. So ln 1000 minus ln, or we can write like this, 998 is equal to 0.693 into 5 years by capital T, because small t is given as 5 years. So now by logarithms we can write 2.3026 into, by converting them into log tens, this 3.000 minus 2.9991. Sorry, 998 logarithm is by calculator they are the same only, and this equal to 0.693 into 5 by t. This one is 2.3026 into 0.90999, I think. 0.309, and that is 0.693 into 5 by t. Now this calculator, by using calculator, I have calculated as, and this value is 0.00207 is equal to 5 lambda. So lambda is equal to 0.002 by 5, neglecting this 07, we get it as 0.0004, that is 4 into 10 power minus 4. So from this we get the lambda. So T is equal to, half-life T is equal to 0.693 by capital T. Lambda. Oh, sorry. 1 minute, sorry. This is 5 into lambda. So lambda is this one. So 0.693 by 4 into 10 to the power minus 4, and that is 0.693 into 10 power 4 by 4. That is 0.1732. That means 1732 years. Okay, now the 12th one. Plutonium decays with a half-life period plutonium decays with a half-life of 24,000 years. If plutonium is stored for 72,000 years, then the fraction of plutonium that remain is plutonium decays with a half-life of this much. If plutonium is stored for this many years, then the fraction of plutonium that is remaining. So here it is given small t as 72,000 years. Capital T, the half-life period is 24,000 years. Okay. Now it is stored for this many number of years. Then the remaining. Suppose initially it is N0. After 72,000 years it is N. Then the fraction is N by N0. We have that relation N by N0 is equal to half into small t by capital T. That is half into small t, 72,000 by 24,000 years, 24/3. That is 1 by 2 to the power 3. That is 1 by 8. So the fraction remaining is 1 by 8. That means if it is stored for this many number of years, if we take 1 gram, it will reduce it to 0.125 gram. Next, 13th one, simple one, relation between half-life and mean life. The half-life of radium is 1600 years. The half-life of radium is 1600 years. Find its mean life. Find its mean life. Okay, we have the relation. The mean life tau is equal to, take its tau, mean life is equal to, our relation is half-life by 0.693. So this is the relation between these two. So mean life t is equal to 16,100 by 0.693, and that is 2308.8 years. A simple one. Now the 14th one, the half-life of uranium 92-238 against alpha decay is 1.5 into 10 to the power 17 second. What is its activity? What is its activity? What is its activity? What is the activities? What is the activity of sample? What is the activity of sample of uranium 238-92 having 25 into 10 to the power 20 atoms? Okay, this is also simple one. Half-life of this is given as this one. Half-life of uranium is given as 1.5 10 power 17. What is the activity of this uranium if it contains in a sample which contains this many number of atoms? So the activity A is given by A is equal to modulus lambda n. Okay. So A is equal to lambda into n. So in this problem, lambda is not directly given, lambda we have to calculate from this half-life, but decay constant is equal to 0.693 by half-life. So given capital T as 1.5 into 10 to the power 17 second, and the number of atoms as 25 into 10 to the power 20. So therefore the activity is lambda n, that is lambda is, we have to calculate like this, 0.693 by 1.5 10 power 17 into number of atoms is 25 into 10 power 20. So we calculate this as 3. So the 5 5s 0.3. We calculate this 2.31 into 10 to into 5 into 10 to the power 3. That is 5 5 11 into 10 power 3. That is 11,550 disintegrations per second. So activity is always measured in disintegrations per second, or we can write it as becquerel. Now the 15th one, a radioactive isotope has a half-life of 100 years. The half-life 100 years. How long it will take? How long it will take? The activity reduces to 1/10 of initial activity. Okay, a radioactive isotope has a half-life time of 100 years. How long it will take? Its activity reduces to 1/10 of initial activity. That means activity is given by A is equal to lambda n actually. So that we can write it as lambda n0 e power minus lambda t, where n is modulus. Okay, but here activity is lambda n. That means activity after n number of or some amount of mass is reduced, so that the remaining mass is n, or remaining nuclei number is n. That means if we take lambda n0 means initial activity. That means A is equal to initial activity A0 e power minus lambda. So you have to follow this equation. So given A by A0, given A by A0 is 1/10. Okay, A is equal to 1/10 of A0, so that we can directly write A1/10. And it is given, half-life is given. So here lambda. So lambda is equal to 0.693 by half-life. We have that relation. So this equal to e power minus lambda t, write it as first lambda t. So now this is 10 is equal to e power lambda t. Now take reciprocals. So ln of 10 is equal to lambda t. So ln of 10 is nothing but 2.3026 is equal to 0.693 by half-life into t. But half-life is given as 0.693 by 100. So 100. Now multiply 2.3026 into 100 by 0.693 is equal to t. And this is approximately 3.32 into 100, that is 332 years. Now the 16th one, now 16th one, a radioactive material has a half-life has a half-life 500 years. How long it will take? It will take how long it will take? The activity becomes the activity becomes 0.2 times initial activity. Initial activity. Given log 5 base 10 is equal to 0.6990. Okay. Radioactive material has a half-life of 500 years, and activity becomes 0.2 times of its initial activity. That means given R by R0 is equal to 0.2. This is given. 0.2 means it is 1 by 5. Okay. And half-life is 500 means lambda is equal to 0.693 by 500. These two are given, and this is a given for data. Now you have to calculate the small t. During this time, this activity becomes 0.2. The activity reduces to 0.2. Now you relate R by R0 is equal to e power minus lambda t, implies 1 by 5 is equal to, write this, 0 minus lambda t. So this implies 5 is equal to e power lambda t. So writing log ln of 5 is equal to lambda t. But ln of 3 is equal to 0.306 into L log 10 base, log 5 base 10 lambda. That is 2.3026 into 0.699 is equal to lambda is this one, 0.693 by capital T into small t, that is 500. So we can 0.699 and 0.6, we can directly cancel out this. So approximately small t is equal to 2.3026 into 500. So this we get it as, if we take the exact value, $1161.2 years. Okay, 17th one. Two stable isotopes of lithium 36 and lithium 37 have respective abundance respective abundance 7.5% and 92.5%. These isotopes have mass 6.01512 unit and 7.01600 unit. Find the atomic mass. Mass of lithium. Okay, now given that mass of lithium 36 is 6.01512 and that of lithium 37 is 7.01600 units, and the abundance of this one is 7.5. So let us take it as 7.5 and abundance of this is 92.5. So remember that the sum of the abundances is always equal to 100. Okay. Now we have to calculate the average mass. So the average mass of lithium is this one, and assume that this is M1 and this is M2. So we can write M1 N1 plus M2 N2 by N1 plus N2. So that is 7.5 into 6.01512 plus 92.5 into 7.016 divided by 100. So using calculator we calculate it as 6. So you calculate with your calculator, you will get the answer 6.940934 units. Now the 18th one. This is a similar one only. Boron has two stable isotopes B 510 and B 511. Their respective masses are 10.01294 units and 11.00931 units. This one is for this one and this one is for this. The atomic mass of boron is 10.811 unit. Find the abundance of B510 and B511 isotopes. So it has only two isotopes, and given mass of boron 510 is 10.01294 and that of boron 511 is 11.00931. Okay, and this abundance, assume that the abundance of this one N1 is N, and this is, take it as mass M1 and this is M2, and the second assumption is 100 minus N. Remember that if there are two isotopes, then the total abundance is always 100%. So, and actual mass of this is given as 10 point. So, B mass is 10.811 unit. So, we have this relation, mass of original average mass equal to, or atomic mass equal to M1 N1 plus M2 N2 by N1 plus N2. So that we can write it as, from this 10.01294 into N plus 11.00931 into 100 minus N whole divided by 100. So actually this is this one 10.811. Now simplifying that, that is 100 into 10.811 is equal to this one is 100 into 11.00931 in plus, and this one, that means we get minus sign, but it is larger one, minus N into 11.00931 minus 10.01294, and that is, we calculating, we get writing this one here and changing this one. So N into 0.99637 is equal to 11 00.931 minus 1081.1. So x equal to, this is 19.831 by this one, 0.99637, and that we get it as 19.9%. If the abundance of one isotope is 19.91 and the other one abundance is 100 minus 19.9, that is 80.1. So the abundances are these two. Now the 19th one. The 19th one, total energy of (7.6) into 10 to the power 13 joule was released when an atom bomb explodes. If on an average 200 MeV energy was released per fission, calculate number 1, number of uranium atoms fissioned. Number 2, mass of uranium used in the bomb. Okay. The question is, an energy of 7.6 10 to the power 13 joule was released when an atom bomb explodes. If on an average 200 million electron volt of energy is released per fission, then calculate number of uranium atoms fissioned and mass of uranium used in the bomb. Okay. How we can calculate is, okay, total energy released is 7.6 10 to the power 13 joule. Okay. Energy per fission is given as 200 MeV. That is 200 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 into 10 to the power 6 joule. That is, if you simplify it, this is 2 and this is 6, total 8. That means 10 power minus 11 into 3.2. This month joules. Okay. So for one fission, energy released is this many joules. Total energy released is this one. So the number of fissions means this divided by this, or this into total number of atoms is given by this one. So number of atoms fissioned is equal to total energy E by energy per fission. That is 7.6 10 power 13 divided by 3.2 into 10 power minus 11. And this is approximately 2.375 into 10 to the power, this total becomes 24. So this many number of fissions takes place to release an amount of 7.6 10 to the power 13 joule. Okay, and next one to calculate, second one is mass of uranium used in the bomb. Okay. So, number of atoms used in the bomb is number of atoms fissioned in the bomb is equal to 2.375 10 to the power 24 atoms. Okay. As we know, 1 gram of uranium contains how many atoms? N divided by uranium 235. Sorry, mass number. So this many number of atoms in 1 gram. Okay. Okay. Then X gram of uranium contain X into N by 235. Okay, 1 gram contains N by 235 grams. X gram of uranium contain X into N by 235. So, suppose assume that X gram of uranium is used in the bomb. So, then the number of atoms will be this much. So, that we have calculated as this. Therefore, X into N by 235 is equal to 2.375 into 10 power 24. So, from this X can be calculated as X equal to 235 by N into 2.375 into 10 to the power 24. So, that is 235 by 6.023 10 power 23 into 2.375 into 10 power 24. So, this 24 will get cancelled, and using calculator we get and that is we calculate as 926.66 gram. So, this much amount of mass is used in the atom bomb. Now the 20th one. Next one, calculate the energy released. Calculate the energy released by fission of 2 gram of uranium 235 92 in kilowatt hour, given that the energy released per fission the energy released per fission is 200 million electron volt. Okay. Calculate the energy released by fission of 2 gram of uranium-235 in kilowatt hour, given that the energy released per fission is 200 MeV. So actually 2 gram of U-235 contains how many number of atoms? Contains N by 235 into 2 grams, because for 1 gram this many number of atoms, for it is 2 gram into 2 atoms. So that is 6.023 10 power 23 into 2 divided by 235. So this many number of atoms. Okay. And next one, energy per fission. Is equal to 200 MeV, that is 200 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 13 joule. So total energy released by this many number of fissions takes place is this number into this number. So energy released by fission of 2 gram of uranium is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23 into 2 divided by 235 into this 200 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 30. And that is 2 into 2.6.023 10 power 23 divided by 235 into 3.2 into 10 to the power 11. Sorry, minus 11. So minus 12, sorry, plus 12. Okay, 1 minute. It is 23, 3.2, 10 to the power minus 11. Oh. Now this is the energy we got in joule. To convert into kilowatt hour, that is 2 into 6.023, 10 power 23, 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 11 divided by 235 into kilowatt hour is 36 into 10 power 5. So using calculator we calculate it as 0.00455 10 power 7, or this is also equal to 4.55 10 power 4 kilowatt hour. So last but one, 21 and 22. By the fission of U-235, 200 MeV energy is released. Calculate the number of fissions required. Number of fissions required to generate a power of 1 megawatt. Okay. Due to effusion of one fission, 200 MeV energy is released. Calculate number of fissions required to generate a power of 1 megawatt. So actually power is equal to number of fissions per unit time, that is N by T into 200. Okay. Number of fissions per unit time into fission energy for each fission. So from this we can directly calculate. So P is equal to, power is given as 1 megawatt. That means 10 power 6 watt is equal to N by T, that is number of fissions per second, into 200 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 13 joule. Now writing this, number of fissions per second is equal to, so okay, this T is also 1 second, already given second. So N is equal to 10 power 6 divided by 200 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 13. Actually this is minus 11. That is 1 by 3.2 into 10 power 16. Sorry, 10 power 17. And this is approximately equal to 1 by 3.2 into 10 power 17. That is, on calculation we get 0.3125 into 10 to the power 17. That is 3.125 10 to the power 16. So this many number of fissions are required to generate 1 megawatt power. Now the last one. How much uranium 235 is consumed in a day in an atomic reactor in an atomic powerhouse operating at 400 megawatt provided the whole mass of uranium 235 is converted into energy. Is converted into energy. How much uranium is consumed in a day in an atomic power reactor which is operating at 400 megawatt, provided whole mass of the uranium 235 is converted into energy. So given power is 400 megawatt, that is 400 into 10 power 6 watt. and the time period is in a 1 day. So T is equal to 1 day, that is 1 day means 24 hours and 60 minutes into 60 seconds, and this is 86400 seconds. Now if power is equal to energy by time, that implies energy released is power into time. So that is 400 into 10 power 6 into 86400. So this, on calculating, we get 3.456 into 10 to the power 11. Sorry, 13 joule. Okay. Now given that whole mass is converted into energy, that means E is equal to, mc square. So m is equal to E by c square. That is this much, 3.456 into 10 power 13 divided by c square means 9 into 10 power 16. That is 3.456 by 9 into 10 power minus 3. Actually this is in kg, so we get in gram. That is 3.456 by 9 gram. And this is approximately 0.32775 789 approximately gram. That is 0.389 gram mass consumed in a day.